welcome to a new episode of Sports Take. As you can see, the normal host is not here. He's currently working, but we're holding on the fort. Johnny, we're going to miss you on this episode, but we still got the three-man weave. Myself, we got Nick Odell. How's it going, Nick?
It's going all right. Just finding some time in this holiday season to do a show before Christmas. I like it.
Oh, yeah, we got to bring the people what they want, right?
Yeah.
And bring them the sports news, highlights, anything that we have to provide them. Also, Donnelly, what's up?
It's going.
All right. That's all I get? That's all I get from me?
Yeah, that's all you get.
All right. Hey, that's fine with me. First, let us be the first to wish you a very Merry Christmas to the people that are watching. Merry Christmas Eve to be exact. But like Nick said, we have a ton of stuff to do. We've been shopping, we've been wrapping, but we had to bring a show to you guys before Christmas. And because there's a lot of sports news. But before we get to the news, Nick, you have the interesting trivia fact of the day.
Yes, I do. And we're going to go back in time to 1997 with this trivia question. On this day, actually, December 23rd, 1997, Phil Jackson was quickest to reach 500 games in his coaching career. How many games did it take him to reach that milestone? Was it A, 538, B, 623, C, 717, or D, 682? Let's start with Donnelly. What do you think?
I'm gonna go with B, 623.
Okay,
oh man, that's tough. All right, 538, 623, 717, or 682. I'll go 623. I'll go B.
Okay, so you both agree on
B. We usually don't agree. So at some point we got to correct through and we'll get it right at some point.
Hey, you know what?
Maybe.
Hey, it's the most wonderful time of the year to agree on something. It's the holiday spirit, But yeah, so like for all you viewers out there watching the show right now, comment below on your answer, and we'll possibly read it off at the end of the show if you're tuning in. Joe, back to you.
I will pin the trivia question onto the comment section so that way people can comment throughout the show what they think the answer is, and the answer will be revealed at the end of the show. Now, let's get to some sports, boys.
All right.
So, first topic is Cleveland Browns. I really should have looked at the script a little further. Cleveland Browns had a big win. Baker Mayfield. Question is, just straight up for you guys, is he the real deal? Nick, what do you think?
I think he's starting to become the real deal, honestly.
Based on what?
Based on the fact that, so like, yes, he had like a few stumbling years, out of Oklahoma in the 2018 draft, drafted by Cleveland.
Yeah.
But this year he's really gelling with his new, so remember they have a new head coach this year, I believe, right? Yeah. So
they also have new players too that they acquired.
Yeah. So he's really gelling with his new coach, new players that he acquired. Like he has weapons now, and he's really thriving in this new system that Kevin Stefanski has in place in Cleveland. So I think he's the real deal. Starting to become the real deal. Let's see if he's actually consistent down the road when it comes to playoff time. Because I'm pretty sure the Browns will make the playoffs this year. But like we can get that into further detail later. But like Donnelly, what do you think?
I mean, I think he's doing a lot better. I think you can go on to say that he's a good player. He's definitely showed a lot of progression, especially over the past couple seasons. People had their doubts about him. They thought he was just another Johnny Manziel that was just going to wash out after his first season.
I did. I thought
that. But he's proved everybody wrong. He's actually making good plays. He's making the Browns seem like a competitive team, which obviously they are at this moment. But they hadn't been in the playoffs since 2002, I believe it was.
Been a while.
2003.
Yeah, 2000.
So it's
2002. Yeah, when they
Yeah, so it's been a long time, and for him to finally push them almost push them into the playoffs. I mean, that's huge for him.
Right.
No one thought that this was going to happen this year. They thought he was going to tank.
Yeah, and it's also huge for the city of Cleveland too. I mean, the Cleveland fans have been long awaiting this playoff moment. 18 years is believe it or not, a pretty long time for a fan base to grow impatient over over a football team. And I'm not going to say congratulations yet because they haven't clinched a playoff berth, but I think we're seeing something. I think the Browns are turning a page a little bit in their franchise. I mean, well,
Pump the brakes a little
no,
bit.
no. Let me tell you why, though. Like, I feel like there's some sort of, they haven't quite fully turned the page, but like I'm getting this preliminary sense. If you know what I mean.
They're having a great year. I'm not going to dismiss that. They're 10-4. What's unbelievable is that if they win the next 2 games and Steelers lose the next 2 games, Cleveland wins the AFC North. And it just blows my mind that the Cleveland Browns are still in division contention when it comes to that division, because you look at the Steelers, you look at the Ravens, they were top AFC favorites coming into the season. And now all of a sudden the Browns out of nowhere. And I was the first to doubt him. I doubt him every week.
I think everybody was. I don't think you were the only one.
Yeah. And they've proved me wrong. But I still think the AFC is so tough. They'll run into a team like Kansas City or Buffalo. I don't think they're going to win that game. But can they win the wild card? Maybe, depending on the matchup. But it's just a matter of putting it together. Now, they lost Odell Beckham Jr., and all of a sudden they doing fantastic. OBJ back on the team next year or no? Just yes or no, and we'll move on to the next topic. What do you guys say?
I don't know. I don't think he should. I mean, if they're doing this much success, I mean, who knows? I mean, I was going to say, like, you think this is going to last into next season, or is this pure luck that they're, making it this far? So I don't know. That's going to be a tough question and tough call.
I kind of think that, if OBJ was in there this year, oh my God, like, they probably could be a lot better. And I think they should keep Odell Beckham Jr., honestly, because, yes, they're having a good year this year, but imagine if he comes back next year and the Browns had the same success this year as they did last year. So on top of Odell Beckham Jr. coming back, I think the Browns might even do better next year. Who knows? But,
maybe. But it's just a matter of Mayfield. This was the topic of discussion. Mayfield. Yeah. He is he's the engine that keeps the car going in Cleveland. Without him, who's their backup quarterback? Like, what success do they have? They have a big name stars. They have Jarvis Landry. They have Myles Garrett. They have all these great players and great talent, but Mayfield has to be consistent. He's been consistent this year, and they're on the verge of a playoff berth. Let's see what he does next year. Moving on, Carson Wentz. Moving on to another young quarterback. Wentz was recently benched for Jalen Hurts. Hurts went 1-1. He won his first start against Saints. Lost second game against the Cardinals. He doesn't want to be a backup. He's come out and said it. I don't want to be backup. Where do you guys think he ends up? I mean, what's this with that?
Yeah, Donnelly, I'll let you take this one since you're the Eagles fan of the group here. So you have the floor, sir.
I don't know. I think he's jealous that, with his lackluster season, or terrible season for that matter, and Hurts coming in and just, completely changing the entire way that the whole team plays, not just the way he plays, but all of a sudden everybody was working together and playing the way they were supposed to. And so I think he's jealous, and he doesn't want to be a backup. And I would assume he probably thinks that he still has it in him to be the starter. He probably thinks that he's more deserving of it than Hurts is, even though Hurts is just putting up absurd numbers for his first 2 starts. I mean, he went in a shootout with Murray in the Arizona game, and I think he threw for over 400 yards.
That was a great game.
Yeah. He had, I think, 3 touchdowns. He's combined for over 150 rushing yards in just 2 games. I mean, so to look at that and then see Wentz and his, like, really terrible stats,
Right.
It's really hard to say. And sometimes I don't blame him for thinking, oh, I don't want to be a backup. I deserve better than this, because all of a sudden this young kid just comes in and completely changes the game.
Right.
But the biggest issue is they paid him so much that he is not going to go anywhere.
Right.
I really highly doubt that he is going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
So it's going to come down to the camps, and they're going to have a big QB battle. That's what it's going to come down to.
It's just going to be interesting if Hurts leads them to the playoffs. We talked about this last week. I mean, if Hurts, we were talking before we went live that the Eagles have a legitimate shot at making the playoffs because of how bad the division is, and they have to have some things go right. But if the Eagles sneak in with Jalen Hurts, Wentz is gone. He's gone.
I don't know. I mean, you look at the Super Bowl run. Foles came in, took them all the way to the Super Bowl. Then he came back in, got them into the playoffs. Although they were unsuccessful,
right?
He still got them to the places they need to go, and they let Foles go.
I know, but he wasn't getting paid $100 million like Wentz is. I can't.
But
see
they still kept him though.
I know.
And that's the thing I'm trying to say is that even if Hurts gets him into the playoffs, even if they get him, he gets them a couple wins in the playoffs, maybe the NFC Championship. I highly doubt it though. But say they get there or something.
Right.
They're still going to keep Wentz. That's just how that's going to go, because Peterson is still believes in him.
Yeah, and the fact that Peterson still believes in him, like it's like that thing where like you latch on to someone too long. It's like sort of like a clingy relationship with like sort of like that. But yeah, like I don't see. Oh my God, I'm trying to keep it together right now. But I don't see, like in all seriousness, no, though, I don't see Wentz returning, honestly, because, we've seen this story before, right, with Nick Foles, like, potentially, I mean,
Yeah, but what about with, like, other teams when quarterbacks get benched for, like, a game or two, and then they come back and they dominate? Who's to say that that's not going to happen? I mean, I don't necessarily trust it right now when the whole season is on the line, but I mean, he gets benched the rest of the season and then comes back and dominates next season, maybe. I mean,
maybe.
Right, but I mean, we'll see how Jalen Hurts does. And if he leads in the playoffs, I agree with Joe. I think Wentz, might be gone. So
we'll see what happens though with him. It'll be interesting what happens with him in the offseason, depending on how Hurts does the next couple weeks. But moving on. What?
I was going to say, like I said, it's going to be a competition next year. That's going to determine whether he leaves or not.
Yep. No, I'll agree with that. Next topic of discussion, Kansas City Chiefs. They're going to win it. They went down to New Orleans, got a good win against a Drew Brees-led team. Do you think they're going to win it all? They're in position for the 1 seed again, home field advantage, and a bye, because the top seed this year is the only team that gets a bye week in each league, each conference. Do you guys got KC or you got the field?
We always say it's tough to go back to back.
Because no one's done it.
Well, the last time it was done by the New England Patriots back in 2003, 2004.
Wait, who did they beat in that second Super Bowl to go back to back?
It must have been Baltimore or something.
That team behind you, Donnelly. Anyway,
there's a team behind me. Oh.
Yeah. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that it's hard. We've always been saying, it's hard to repeat a Super Bowl champs. But if there's any team to do it, it pains me to say it because I'm not a Chiefs supporter. Chiefs are Patriots conference rival or whatnot. But it pains me to say, but I think the Chiefs might do it this year. If there's any team that could repeat as champs, it would be the Chiefs, honestly, because Patrick Mahomes is on a different planet right now.
The whole team is.
Yeah, their whole team from offense to defense.
I mean, him and Tyreek Hill are just unstoppable right now.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to slow down coming into the playoffs. I mean, they've already beat every single team that's going to be in the playoffs right now.
Right.
I don't really see them slowing down at all. Unless a big injury happens, I don't see a slowdown.
It's kind of like the Patriot years. I mean, it's starting to feel like that, and I hate to compare it, but it was always, do you take the Patriots or do you take the field? And we're doing that with Kansas City now, that they're so above and beyond everybody else. You look at the Steelers; they started 11-0, and now they lost 3 straight. They were supposed to be the biggest threat, and now Baltimore, people are thinking they're clicking on the right, the right ways, and they're going to make a playoff run. Right now, if the playoffs started, they're out. They're number 8 in the AFC. Yeah. So you can't count Baltimore in until they're in the playoff field, and there's 2 weeks to go, and a lot could happen. But you look at Miami, the inexperience. You look at Buffalo, the inexperience. KC, like you said, Nick, they just did it last year.
Yeah.
And it's if any team can do it, I can see them doing it. But you look at the NFC, though, I can see an NFC team stepping up in the Super Bowl like an Aaron Rodgers. Rodgers has won a Super Bowl. It's been 10 years, but he's won a Super Bowl. And he's playing on an MVP level too, like Mahomes. It's between those two for the MVP, I think. So I don't know. It's going to be an interesting playoffs. Like now that the Patriots are officially eliminated from the playoffs, it'll be fun just to sit back and see what teams kind of advance.
I mean, I think the whole Super Bowl, is going to be entertaining to see plenty of teams that haven't really made it that far before. I mean, with the whole extra teams in this year,
it's
going to be a lot of fun to see who gets through and who loses.
Right.
But I think Kansas is going to pull it off again. Like you said, Joe, without trying to compare it too much to New England's run in the early 2000s,
right.
I don't know. This could be the start of their time. They might run this decade, or at least most of it.
Yeah.
As long as they don't get injuries and they don't trade people off and they continue to get new talent, they might have a whole decade to themselves, just like New England had.
Real quick, and then I'll let Nick finish. Why I compare KC to New England too is that people want to play for New England. People want to play for Kansas City like they did New England. They want to be here. They're not getting paid the most, but they know that they have that chemistry and the talent that they can bring in, and they have the coaching. Andy Reid's now, he coached so many years in Philadelphia, couldn't crack through for a Super Bowl. He got there, but he didn't crack through. He had the talent, couldn't crack through. He finally get there with Patrick Mahomes last year, and now you have Travis Kelce, you have Tyreek Hill, you have all these weapons around Mahomes, who signed a 10-plus year deal that, like you said, Donnelly, they could run the next decade. Nick, final thoughts on this one?
Yeah, one other thing to note too, it'll also be interesting to see how the Kansas City running back Clyde Edwards-Helaire, comes back from injury in the playoffs. So that's.
I thought he was out for the season.
I think he is out. I think he's out for the year.
I don't think he's going to come back for the playoffs.
I believe he's out.
Well, last time I heard, I think he was missing the remainder of the regular season.
Yeah, that's a big loss. That's a big loss for KC.
Yeah.
From a good team to a really, really bad team, the New York Jets picked up their first win of the year. Really big upset, actually, in LA.
Huge.
They beat the Rams. The Rams choked. The Rams were a heavy favorite. Hey, we have a special guest in Willie. But the Rams were supposed to win. They were supposed to still lead the division, and they choked. However, the bigger choke was the Jets, which, go figure, the winners. Why would they be choke artists? Because they lost the number 1 pick in the draft, and that goes to the Jacksonville Jaguars now. Good job, Jets. Even when you win, you lose. Go ahead, Nick.
Total Jets move right there.
Oh, what a...
Yeah, but do you blame them really, though?
Yes!
Would you, if you were a fan of the Jets, would you want them to actually lose when they had the chance to win like they did?
I would.
I mean, what kind of fan is that? I could care less. Trying to see a win? I mean, I would rather that over the first pick of the draft.
Yes,
that in of itself is a lot more worth it.
Right, you don't go winless. I mean, yay! You don't join the Lions or the Browns. I get that, but at the same time, you missed out potentially at a franchise 20-year quarterback in Trevor Lawrence. What are you doing?
Okay, but what is he going to do in New York? There's nobody there.
As I said previous show, potentially Adam Gase is out, the coach, and bring in Dabo Swinney. Imagine that combo. The coach and the quarterback from Clemson.
Well, hold on a minute, though, because, NFL is a whole different game than college, honestly.
Yeah.
So like
We saw that in Chip Kelly.
has some adjusting to do if that were to happen.
Right. Well, you've seen successful coaches though, not in college, but in the NFL, like Jim Harbaugh. Remember, he brought a team to a Super Bowl. He didn't
Yeah,
win.
but then he went back to college and now is sucking with Michigan. So
Right. All I'm saying is, though, is that yes, it's a whole different dynamic, but he could do well in the NFL. We've never
Good.
seen it. So, but I mean, a 3-hour game against the Rams, you win, you chance bringing in a franchise quarterback who gets you more wins than this entire year combined. What are they
I
doing?
doubt that they really cared about that. I think they're more
apparently they
worried about
didn't.
the win.
Yeah, no, I get that. Apparently they cared about the win. They fought for the win. Frank Gore, it's probably his last year in the NFL, and he can't go 0-16.
No.
So they
You said
fought
that
for
like
him.
10 years ago.
Yeah. They got a first win. Congrats. But now the Jaguars are like, thank you. Thank you for the franchise. I mean, it just
I
it's
think
such
he's a way better fit in Jacksonville than he is in New York anyway. At least Jacksonville has a better team than New York does. I'm not going to say they're good because they're not.
one win.
I think they have a better team than New York does. I
Yeah.
think that if they wanted to get rid of Minshew or whatever his name is,
Minshew.
Minshew. There we go. He would have a better fit there than he would in New York. What is
Right.
he gonna do in New York? I mean, I don't blame New York for, not picking him up
Well,
or not having the opportunity to pick him up as the first pick. I mean, they were just excited to beat the Rams, who literally everybody thought was just gonna wreck them, including myself.
Oh, we all picked the Rams. No one picked
Yeah.
the Jets in our pick 'em. Like we all
You could-
we all picked the Rams. They were the heavy favorites. And who would have thought the Jets go to the West Coast and get their first win?
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
you convinced me to start Goff, and he did terrible.
Oops.
that's actually, that was, like I said, the biggest upset of the week. But to go on the road to LA on the West Coast and win against a playoff contender when you're an 0-14 team
Yeah.
or 0-13 team or something like that, winless team, I should say, it's definitely like, hey, congratulations, Jets, but
Right.
what does it cost?
Oh, it's good that they won. I mean, imagine as a Patriots fan, real quick. Excuse me. I got the hiccups. Last week of the season, we played the Jets.
Yeah,
Imagine they come to Foxborough 0-15 and we lose to them.
that would be.
I'm happy that the Rams got out of the way. So Rams are good. Moving on, because I have bad hiccups now in this life. The Steelers lost again. Whew, I need some water. 3-game losing streak for the Steelers. Are they in trouble? Nick.
I believe so.
They're definitely in trouble.
So are you okay?
Ever have bad hiccups?
Oh yeah, I've had bad hiccups.
All right, go on. Are the Steelers in trouble?
I would say yes, honestly, because you lose 3 in a row. You lost the last game to the Bengals.
I know.
And the last game of the season, you got Cleveland potentially for the division title. So, and your next game is against the Colts, I believe, right? I mean, the Colts, and then you have some other good team.
Colts and Browns. That's
Yeah.
it.
Oh yeah, Colts
It's
and
good.
Browns. So you have the Colts and the Browns. You could potentially finish 11-5 after starting out the season 11-0. What is this? This is if 2020 was a football team, the Steelers.
I mean, they choked away a perfect opportunity on prime time
Right.
in Cincinnati to get this whole situation better. And they dropped the ball. They lost by 10 points to a 2-win team. I mean, you cannot to a division rival. I get tensions are high whenever you play somebody in the division. I get that. But come on, like Juju Smith-Schuster dancing on a logo, which blew up the internet.
And then he got absolutely wrecked against.
Right. I mean, Tomlin has to settle them down. They were 11-0. They're going to make the playoffs. Fine. But they didn't. What did they accomplish? They haven't clinched the division. They're not going to get the bye week now. and they're possibly a 3 seed, and in the divisional round have to go to Buffalo. What are they doing?
Yeah.
So I think overall they got to get their stuff together. They really do. They just have to get the mindset that they had. Yes, they play bad teams the first 3 months of the season. They've played terrible teams. We made fun of them. Nick, you called them the weakest 11-0 team ever.
And I was right.
Now it's shown.
I was right.
Now it's shown. It's bad. If I'm a Steelers fan, I'm worried with 2 weeks left of the regular season. Donnelly,
They're
what
not
do you
going to
think?
go anywhere. They're not going to go anywhere. I mean, you made really good points. They're not going to, and being the worst 11-0 team, I mean, they had nothing to show for it.
Right.
They really didn't. And so now you're going to take that into the playoffs, and you're going to go up against, New Orleans or, Kansas or Green Bay or any of those teams. They're not going to do anything. They're going to look like the Jets trying to go through the playoffs. It's not going to work for them. The Steelers, they lost it out. Big Ben, he's on his outs. I don't think he's really going to, survive after this. I think he's got maybe one more season in him, but that's it. I mean, I don't know if you guys saw any of the highlights or watched the game last week, but he was so inconsistent.
He missed throws. He missed easy throws.
Yeah, and he was just tossing them too. I mean, if you look at a lot of the plays, he was just kind of tossing them up, almost as if that he wasn't stepping into the throws, making logical, passes. I mean, he was just like, who cares? I don't care who gets it. And
they have so much talent on that team too. When you look at the team, they have a good tight end. They have great receivers, and they do have a good quarterback. But man, oh man, are they not gelling the past month? It looks bad in Steelers.
I think Juju's cursing him with his dancing on the logos.
And news came out today that he's not going to be dancing anymore because apparently it's bad for the team.
It's also bad. It's also bad juju.
There you go. I was waiting for somebody to make that bad joke. Thank you, Nick. Next, we're shifting gears. We're staying with football a little bit. We're staying with football, but in a different sort. NCAA football. So the playoff picture came out. You got your Final Four. Nick is shaking his head because I know of which team made the playoff, and they shouldn't have. Number 1, you have Alabama. Number 2, you have Clemson because they wrecked Notre Dame, the ACC championship. Number 3, it's kind of a surprise to a lot of people, the Ohio State University. And Nick is full support of that. And number 4, Notre Dame Fighting Irish. Now, did they get it right, wrong, or you don't care?
Number 1, I don't care, but I'm going to give some in-depth, a little bit of in-depth analysis since this is a sports podcast. As a Notre Dame fan,
recently Notre Dame fan
because I had to switch my allegiances because UMass sucks. Anyhow,
you just
sorry for all you UMass. Sorry for all you UMass fans out there. Nick, right. Being brutally honest. Go ahead, Nick.
But as a Notre Dame fan, as a recent Notre Dame fan, I don't think we deserve to be in the playoff, honestly. Because you had teams like Texas A&M who had a strong resume to go into the playoff. Right. We lost to Clemson bad. Notre Dame lost to Clemson bad.
Yep.
And Texas A&M, they took care of business again, in their game, albeit it wasn't an SEC championship game, which Florida. I was hoping Florida would win that game, but that's
a great game.
That's a
very good game
for another day. But on my mind, it is the Ohio State Buckeyes, who are absolute. I don't want to say the word, but anyhow, listen. I have lost all respect for the Big Ten Conference. Oh my goodness! I know
everybody has except for the Big Ten
for all this bullcrap reasons, but come on.
It's all money because it's a business. College football isn't even a sport; it's a business.
Yeah.
Listen, I don't care. I'm going on this rant right now. Listen.
Well, Nick, we only have 20 minutes left in the show, so.
Big Ten, stop changing your rules in favor of teams. You know what that's called? That's called tampering.
They changed the rules. They shouldn't have changed the rules for Ohio State. They shouldn't have played favorites. We can all agree on that. Nick, to your point for Notre Dame, they're going to get wrecked by Alabama.
Well,
So
they
it
are.
doesn't really matter. Here's a big reason why they didn't put Texas A&M, and I'm sure is because if Texas A&M was put in at number 4, it would have been Texas A&M versus Alabama, and we already saw that, and we saw the result, and that's why Texas A&M was probably out. Because why do you want to see that again? And that's the reason why they're out.
Right, that makes sense. I feel bad because Texas A&M probably got snubbed, you know.
And number 6
And
was
this is why the
too.
college football playoff is
Right.
complete BS and a total joke.
They should have it like the FCS, like, you know, the 16-team playoff format. Hey, I'll be fine with that.
Yep.
Everybody from Division 1 that wins their championship game gets put in the playoff, and then boom, you all play.
You would think. And Oklahoma at number 6, they kind of crept up in the standings. They had a good second half of the season, but it was a little too late. They had 2 losses on the year, 2 early losses, and so they were left out. But the thing is, it's so inconsistent. I mean, Dabo Swinney, they voted, so each coach gets a ranking at the end of the season. Guess where he ranked Ohio State? Number 11. I mean, what disrespect for Ohio State, your next opponent that you put them down as number 11 best in the country, behind Coastal Carolina, behind Cincinnati.
Bravo. Bravo. I like you already.
Clemson is undefeated against Ohio State, all-time 4-0. They just played last year in the semifinals. Clemson won. It'll be a good rematch. I'm looking forward to that game. It'll be good.
I think that would be the only exciting game.
Yeah, because Alabama right now is like 20-point favorites over Notre Dame. So
aren't they?
Gonna get wrecked. I'm gonna be in my misery. I'm gonna curl up in my ball. And
although if Notre Dame does win and beat Alabama, I will be so happy.
Oh, I think everybody's rooting for Notre Dame. Everybody's rooting for Clemson and Notre Dame, which is funny because then we would see that round 3.
That's because like 90% of the country wants to see Notre Dame win because the other 10% are Alabama fans.
Right.
And obviously they want their team to win.
Yep.
So, I mean, it's obvious that that's how that's happening. But to see a big upset would be the greatest thing.
Yep. That'd be nice to see. To see Notre Dame in a national championship game when they haven't been in a while, it'd be good for the sport.
Yeah, it would.
But we'll see what happens. But we're shifting gears to the National Basketball Association, where 2 games last night, Lakers got the ring. Lakers also took an L to their neighbors, the LA Clippers. They beat them by 6, by 9. But the big story, by what?
By 7. I think it was
7.
109.
So it was a close game on the box score, but the Clippers led wire to wire. Lakers never had a lead in the game. Maybe they were wrapped up in the rings. If you guys take a look online, the rings are ginormous. They are beautiful rings. I'm saying that as a diehard Celtics fan. I know, Nick, money. But LeBron got his 4th ring. And also Golden State lost last night. They were missing Klay Thompson. They were missing Draymond Green. And they had to go to Brooklyn where Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving paired up for the first game. They look good. Brooklyn won by 26 points. They blew them out. So what kind of big storylines? Because tonight is the first full slate of games, 12 games, I think, tonight. What's the big storyline for the NBA season, the 72-game regular season that you guys are most looking forward to?
You know, from a Celtics fan perspective, I'm interested to see if we can if the Celtics could actually get past the hump. And that hump is to the NBA Finals, honestly, because, you know, like I said on the last show that we had last week, you know, we get us Celtics fans get hyped up only to see us fall in the playoffs.
Yep.
It's starting to become a broken record. And honestly, like the other storyline is the Nets are scary this year. They look scary.
We play them on Christmas. We play them in 2 days.
Oh my goodness. They look scary, especially winning by 26 the other night. I know it's game 1, but if you look at their team, man.
It's a long season. I'm not panicking just yet, but they look good. And you still got the Raptors. Raptors are always up there. The Atlantic division. The divisions don't mean as much in NBA as other sports, but that division is looking good. Donnelly, what do you think? Biggest storyline for the NBA.
I think it's just going to be, the biggest storyline is Harden and where he goes, and whether the Lakers are going to make another run for the championship again.
Right.
I think those are the two biggest things that are going to happen. The biggest things I want to happen is I just want to see the Sixers be, a worthy team instead of somehow making it to the playoffs.
Yeah. No, and I think 76ers are a big storyline with Doc Rivers as a coach now. You see Ben Simmons and Embiid teaming up again this year because nobody got traded. And they brought in some pieces. But I think Brooklyn and the Lakers, they're actually my NBA Finals matchup. I'm predicting those two in the finals. And imagine the storylines of that. Kevin Durant versus LeBron, Kyrie versus LeBron. The defending champs going for a second straight title. And LeBron going for his fifth ring overall while Durant's going for his third. But there a lot of storylines. Giannis, can he get over the hump too? Nick, you talked about the hump.
Yeah.
Well, it's not just Celtics. Milwaukee, they can't go far in the playoffs. They've choked the past couple of years with having the MVP in the league. They got to do better.
Yeah.
Miami, they're the defending Eastern Conference Finals champs. Nobody's talking about Miami.
Yeah.
So we'll see what happens. It's a lot of good storylines in the NBA this year. I just hope Celtics don't disappoint. And unfortunately, Eastern Conference Finals, like we have been getting to, that's a disappointment. Which is crazy because the bar is set so high for the Celtics. Even an Eastern Conference Finals appearance is a disappointment because we just cannot get past that one more team to get to the NBA Finals.
Yeah.
But we'll see. Who are your guys, real quick, NBA Finals matchup in July, August, whenever the finals are? Usually what?
It's way too early to predict that, but
Oh, come on. Experts do that all the time. Are we experts?
No.
I got Nets Lakers.
Nets Lakers? That's solid. Yeah. I'm going to say Celtics Lakers, but it's probably not going to happen. Celtics Lakers, Brad Stevens, don't let me down, man.
Winner gets banner number 18 in that matchup.
Oh, I would love to see it. I think the NBA wants to see it too.
Oh, yeah. How about you, Donald?
I just know it's going to be the Lakers, but for right now, I have no idea who's going to be playing them.
So we all have the Lakers in the finals. I mean, that's just obvious. Yeah, I think they're stacked. They even got better than last year. And there's no bubble this year. So
no.
We'll see. Moving on, NHL. We're going to talk NHL real quick because we never include NHL. But me and Donnelly were talking NHL earlier, and we were both super pumped. Nick wasn't in the chat with us. But 56-game regular season starts January 13th. The divisions are all wild. Like they broke them up in a crazy way because Canada teams can't play in Canada, and it's insanity. I love it.
I kind of like the new divisions.
So do I. I love it. I think it's so cool.
It's going to be great. This is going to be fun to watch.
It mixes it up.
I think, I took a look at the division alignment. I was like, wait, Seattle doesn't play this year? They play next year?
Yeah, no, they're next year expansion.
That's funny because, I was trying to look for Seattle because I was like, oh, wait, they play next year. But I kind of want to keep this alignment, honestly.
I know. I do too.
The East looks insane.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
That is going to be brutal for the Bruins and the Flyers and a couple of the other teams with Washington in there.
Yep.
And the Penguins.
You know what's awesome, though, is that with 56 games and they're starting in January, it's going to be a game on every night. It's going to be awesome.
It's going to be awesome.
Your favorite team will probably play every night or every other night. There's not going to be this 3-day, road trip that you got to wait till the weekend when it's Tuesday for them to play and it's 10 o'clock starts. No, it's going to be more prime time.
Like every other day.
Yeah. It's going to be good for the sport, I think. And they need that.
Yep.
Because they didn't think they were going to have a season, and now they are. So that helps. But some big storylines, though. Bruins, real quick. Chara, will he come back? Will they recover? Bruins had a great season. People forget last year because we sucked in the playoffs. So it's a matter of can they get back on that track? You have the defending champion, Tampa Bay Lightning, trying to go for a second straight title. No bubble like they had, or multiple bubbles. Everyone plays, I believe. As of now, it can change.
Yeah.
But as of now, they are playing in their host cities. They are looking to play outside too, which that would be awesome.
Hey, bring back the Stadium Series, man.
Yeah,
Right.
bring back outdoor.
That would be fun.
That would be cool. That would be good for the league.
Imagine the dead of winter. You have the Bruins playing at Fenway Park.
I'd love it. We couldn't
Be
go.
like real hockey.
We couldn't go, but I love it.
I
Hey,
love
you never know. They might open it.
Maybe it's outdoors. You kind of space out fans. Why not?
Yeah.
Because they have you look at college football games, they have fans, they have students
Oh,
in
I
the
know.
stands. So why not? But it'll be a
They
good
did
season.
release the schedule.
They did. Yep. They released the schedule. It looks good.
It's gonna be
Some big
interesting.
storylines though. Washington Capitals just signed Lundqvist, but now he's out for the year.
Ooh,
yeah.
he's out for the year
Well,
already.
Due to
I
something,
didn't hear that one.
something unusual, I think, right?
Yeah, he had something going on, and he is out now for the year. Which, Capitals. I don't think Holtby is there anymore.
No.
So, and Lundqvist was supposed to be the goaltender. So who steps up? So that'll be a storyline to watch out for.
It's gonna be the guy from the beer league.
It could be that Zamboni driver, the one that played for Carolina last year.
Oh,
You can
that's
step
right.
Yeah.
Varsity
So
goaltenders, gotta love it.
but it'll be a good season. We're all looking forward to it. We're going to talk more hockey hopefully on the show, because with football wrapping up with regular season, it's going to be playoff based episodes probably come January. But then after Super Bowl, it's all basketball.
NBA and NHL.
Yep. So because May Madness, I don't know if that's official, but college basketball, they're looking, instead of March, they're looking in May to give the students more time and for COVID to pass a little bit more. And the baseball season, I believe, is starting late as well, but they are in talks when it comes to that. So, but we will keep you posted on Sports Take. Follow the page, share the page, everything about the page. Do it. So we are shifting gears back to football because we always end with this. Pick 'em. There's only 3 of us this week, so no brackets, Johnny, but we're doing pick 'em. And we will start with the Christmas Day game, Friday game, Minnesota at New Orleans.
Ooh, give me. Well, the Vikings
Yeah.
just lost last week, right?
I'm
Vikings
still gonna
need
go
a
with
win.
New Orleans.
Vikings need a win to stay alive in the playoff hunt.
I'll take. Is it really
Is
this
it-
tough?
It's in New Orleans. If that
All right, Saints.
I got Saints.
Yeah.
I think we're all right. So we're all on the Saints.
Yep.
You want to put Johnny on the island though? Do Minnesota.
Maybe I'm making
We'll
this
just give
lock.
them all the obvious losses.
No, he'll submit his picks. We have a group text. He'll put in his picks. But for now, we got ours. We're on New Orleans. Moving to Saturday football, we got 3 matchups on Saturday. Tampa Bay Brady's at the Detroit Lions.
Is this
Bucks.
difficult?
What?
Give me the Bucks.
Is this really gonna be that difficult?
No, I think we're on the Bucks. This
Yeah, I
week
think so
might have
too.
a lot of unanimous picks. Actually,
Yeah.
looking at the schedule, it's gonna be a lot of unanimous. So we're on Tampa, San Fran at Arizona. What's really funny about this game? Both teams are in Arizona. San Fran can't play a game in San Fran.
It's a home game for both.
Yeah, it's 50-50 shot. That is on Prime Video for anybody who does not have NFL Network. Nick,
Yeah,
it is Prime Video.
I
Your
know.
AT&T TV. I got Arizona in this game though. I think with Hopkins and
Yeah.
Murray, I think they got too much firepower for San Fran.
I think so too. San Fran's been on a downward,
Yeah.
spiral. I don't think they're going to come back up at this point.
Nick, who you got?
Give me the Cardinals here. No brainer.
So we are all unanimous so far. So we are all either geniuses or really, really dumb.
Yep, like usual.
Next up, Dolphins at Raiders. Actually, a pretty good game.
Yeah, pretty good game
I'm gonna
here.
check
I would
that.
have to say the Raiders.
I'm going to have to go with Miami on this one, I think.
Vegas looks bad. Vegas, they're 7-7. They started 6-3.
They were doing really good, and then they just tanked.
Well, they
Yeah,
need
they
to win,
look-
so the
Because
Raiders.
there was games that they should have won easily.
I'll go. It's tough because it's in Vegas, but I'll go Miami. So Knicks on the island, the Raiders.
Ah.
All right, Sunday games. It's a little more normalcy. 1 o'clock games. Atlanta at Kansas City.
Give me the Chiefs.
Everyone, Chiefs. Oh man, these matchups are bad. Next up, Browns at Jets.
Give me the Browns.
Yeah.
Anybody want Jets?
No. It doesn't even matter that they beat LA last week. I
got
happening.
Browns. We all got Browns. Next, actually, one of the better games, Colts at Steelers.
See, now that's actually a decent game considering how bad the Steelers are. They're kind of down to Indianapolis' level now.
Pittsburgh can't lose 4 straight, can they, after going 11-0?
Oh, they totally can.
Oh, man. They got to figure it out at some point.
I just don't want to pick. I don't want to pick Pittsburgh, though. But I don't want to pick Indianapolis either.
But what's crazy is that if Browns win and Steelers lose, week 17 is Browns and Steelers for the division. So I'm kind of rooting for that. I want chaos. So I guess I'll go Indy. I'll go
Colts.
Good.
So we're all in the Colts.
Wow. Steelers, man, if you're going 11-0, that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy if they lost. But it'd be such a Browns thing to do to get it back in the division race and then lose week 17 to the Steelers on a 4-game winning streak or losing streak. But I digress. We can't jump ahead. Hopefully they don't either because they have a big matchup that week. Next up, Bears at Jaguars.
Give me the Bears.
Boy, does Jacksonville pull a Jets and they win out of the number 1 spot in the draft? Oh, that'd be so funny.
It would be.
I'll go Bears though.
Me too.
Gotta go Bears.
I think you have to in this situation.
Nick?
Oh, well, I already said the Bears.
Oh, you said Bears?
Yeah.
Bears had a big win last week on the road in Minnesota. That was a big win.
That was huge.
Next up, Giants at Ravens.
Give me the Ravens.
Ravens have to win this.
Yep.
Give me the Ravens.
I got Ravens, I think, at home in a must-win game. I got Ravens.
Yeah, I don't see them losing.
Yeah. Next up, Bengals at Texans.
Give me the Texans.
I don't know. Bengals 1-game winning streak.
Yeah. No. Give me the Texans in this game. I don't trust Ryan Finley to have a game like he did against the Steelers.
I don't either.
Yeah.
I guess I'll go Houston. So we're on Houston. Man,
it's gonna be a rough week this week because we all have the same teams.
Yeah, if we do horrible this week, man, let me tell you.
Next up, Denver at LA Chargers.
Well, I wonder if last week was just a 1-game thing for the Rams because that was terrible. I don't think they played that bad all season.
This is Chargers though.
Chargers.
Not Rams.
Denver at Chargers.
Denver at LA Chargers, not Rams.
I wrote that down wrong. My bad.
Yeah, AFC West battle.
This makes it a lot more interesting now.
Yeah, I guess I'll go Chargers. I guess.
Yeah, give me the Chargers. Justin Herbert. I still like him as a rookie.
I think I'll do the same.
You know what's crazy is that Justin Herbert may win Offensive Rookie of the Year and not be a Pro Bowler. For what the numbers are, like he's got tremendous numbers. What are you laughing at, Nick?
Nothing. I'm just waiting for a certain matchup in the.
Oh boy.
He's waiting for the next one.
He is. Yeah, I know what he's waiting.
Yeah.
All right, so we're on the Chargers in the Denver Chargers game. Next up, we all know who Nick is picking.
Yeah.
Carolina Panthers at the Washington Football Team. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No.
Give me the football team, baby.
Every week. Check the tape. I think you've picked them every week.
No, I didn't. I picked the
They could be playing Kansas City and he'd choose Washington.
I want chaos in the NFC East. I'm going Carolina.
I really want Carolina, and I think that they can.
You need Carolina to win.
I need Carolina to win.
Are you picking Carolina then?
Yeah, I'm going to pick
All
Carolina.
right. Nick's on the
Yeah.
island with the football team.
Football team, baby.
All right, big game. Weird to
This is
say
a
this.
huge game.
Big game. Eagles at Cowboys.
So I
Weird.
know that they picked Hurts to play again against Dallas.
Yeah.
So that's a big factor. If they were going to start Wentz, I might lean towards Dallas, but because they're playing Hurts, with the way they played against New Orleans and the way they played against Arizona, I just honestly don't see them losing to Dallas.
Right.
Unless they tank, which is very easy for them to do because they're not the best team.
Right.
I don't see them losing right now.
Yeah.
So who you got? So all that talking for?
Philadelphia.
Okay, Nick.
Give me the Eagles. Jalen Hurts. I like where this kid is heading. So
I think the loser of this game is out. I think.
Well, Dallas is already out.
No, Dallas can win.
yeah,
There's a playoff scenario
Oh,
that
that's
they
true,
can
yeah.
win the division.
I think they have the same situation as Philadelphia does.
Yeah, so they must win, and then they need a lot of help.
this
So
is like an elimination game here.
wow, so this could be an elimination. That's crazy. So
Right?
kind of your Eagles are in the playoff mode already. Good for you. Good for you. I'll go. These teams are terrible.
Hey, root for a tie. Let's go for a tie, Joe.
Oh, what I would
Don't
love that.
tie.
Oh, that'd be so funny.
That
Eagles
would be
with
so terrible.
Eagles second tie of the year. I'll go.
Two ties.
Dallas looks good the last few games, but so does Philly. So I get for Donnelly, for you, I'll go Philly. Fine. I'll go
We're on
Philly.
the Eagles.
Fine. So we're
Probably
probably
the first this season, I think.
yeah. Next up, Rams at Seahawks. Great game.
Oh, fantastic matchup. But I would have to go with the Seahawks here. Very close.
Seahawks
The way
are.
the Rams have been playing, I don't think there's any way that the Seahawks are going to lose.
I got Seahawks, I think, at home. But Rams usually keep it close against Seattle.
Yeah, it's
They
what I'm
play them
saying.
tough.
I just
Yeah.
don't like what happened.
Yeah. Wait, what do you mean? You don't like what happened?
Like last week, I meant.
Oh, with the Rams?
Yeah.
They kind of ticked. I'm sure Rams are kind of ticked that they lost that game, so they'll be playing with a little more fire. And it's for the division lead too. So we'll see.
That's
Next
true.
up, Tennessee at Green Bay, the Sunday night football game.
Ooh.
Tennessee, Green Bay.
Yep.
I think Green Bay has enough to hold them off, but that run game is going to be hard to stop.
Yep.
I think that's the only thing that's going to be problematic for Green Bay. And I think if they can stop the run, they can stop. They'll be
Right.
fine. But I think I'm still going to go with Green Bay.
I'm
Nick?
going to go with the Packers.
Tennessee keeps putting up like 40 plus points. They look good, and Derrick Henry's close to 2,000 rushing yards, which is insane.
And just as many stiff arms.
Yeah. But as much as I want to pick Tennessee because I think the game will be close, I think going with Aaron Rodgers at Lambeau Field, and he's an MVP favorite this year. It's hard to go against Rodgers right now. So I'll go wrong Green Bay then. And the last game of the week is the last Monday night football game of the season. Buffalo, the AFC East champion, Buffalo Bills at New England Patriots.
It all depends on what Bill Belichick says pregame to the team. Honestly,
I don't think that's going to matter. I think Josh Allen's just going to toss it all over them.
Yeah.
I really do.
Give me the Bills. Honestly, I hate to say it, but it's the Bills. Patriots season is done. Joe, are you going to pick against your team for the first time ever in your life?
Well, we just saw an upset on Monday Night Football with Bengals over Steelers. So,
well, that's not really an upset. We
Yeah,
all knew the Steelers are not going to win.
Bengals had 2 wins. Christmas loves it. You know what? New England always plays Buffalo tough. I'm going to stick with the team on my hat. I'm going to ride or die with them. And we're probably still going to lose, but keep it close.
This is why you're losing Pick'em.
No.
Yes.
All right, what's our
You're
lock?
losing right now.
Yeah, okay. What's my lock then? We'll do locks. Let me go back.
Oh.
We didn't even do locks.
We're going to go in order. It's going to go Joe, me, and Nick based off of how I had it written across.
Okay.
So Joe gets first pick.
Give me Kansas City.
God.
Yes. Yes.
Who are the Jets? Please?
The Jets are playing Cleveland.
Give me the Browns in a lock.
You don't get to choose yet.
Watch Donnelly pick the Browns.
Let's see.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Swear to God, Donnelly.
Pick the Browns. Do it. I hope Nick picks like the Washington football team. That's a lot.
No, why not?
Wait, now your turn.
You know what? I'll give Nick the benefit of the doubt. I'll go with Tampa Bay as mine.
Ooh, okay.
All
Who
right.
do you want, Nick?
I'll take the Browns lock.
Okay. I'm feeling so good about my lock this week. I feel so good. And then who do we give Donnelly Johnny for a lock? We'll give him somebody reasonable.
Well, it depends because what if he doesn't choose the teams we think he's going to choose?
All right, so we'll wait for his pick then.
Yeah.
All right. So that concludes Pick'em for this week. We on the show next week. For final thoughts, I just thought we could kind of all stay, have one common final thought here when it comes to Christmas spirit and New Year's and all that we at Sports Take just want everyone to stay safe, stay healthy, be smart during these holiday seasons. We don't want the numbers to go any higher. We want to try to beat this virus. We see the light because the vaccine is out and people are getting it. I just want to say on behalf of all of us, Merry Christmas to everyone who's watching, who's listening, who subscribes to the show. And just, we love doing the show and we love having you guys watch it and be a part of it in the comments and everything. Nick, super quick, because I did forget before the final thoughts. What was the trivia answer?
Trivia answer one more time is D, 682.
Well, we were all wrong as usual.
Terribly wrong.
You know
I
what?
blame
Maybe
Joe.
for 2021, maybe we'll be better. Maybe we'll be better on trivia. Who knows? But for Nick Odell, for Jonathan Donnelly, which I never say Jonathan, but for Jonathan Donnelly, Nick Odell, I am Joe Gentile. We will see you guys next week. Merry Christmas.
Bye,
See you guys.
Still Joe's.
Bye. Watch a lot of sports. Keep watching.